Everybody, I had to come back and just, right after the game, emotions are racing. You say some things, and then you think about more things. And I want to come back. And excuse the image on the thumbnail. I thought it was funny. It's a scene from 28 Days Later, which is basically what Eric Dyer did to Bobby Firmino. All jokes aside, though, I'm really hoping that, a thumb in the eye, as painful as that is, that it doesn't keep Firmino out for any extended period. I think Firmino is slowly but surely getting back in the groove. And again, as much as as much as it's great that he scored his goal today, I think everything else he did around the game was just as good. Worked endlessly, and it seems like these days, we may have two of our front three not doing so well, and then one steps up. Two maybe doing okay, and then one steps down a bit. And again, we've said it before, but as much as we look to be, I don't even want to. Is it fair to say we're struggling up front? It's good to see. Obviously, that we got the win. I want to talk about the Moaning LFC supporters. It's amazing to me that, listen, I'm always going to be on here, and if Liverpool warrants some criticism, I'm going to give it. And I don't know if I agree with what Klopp said in his post-match press about it being the best performance so far. I don't know if I follow that. Now, Klopp's around this team, obviously, far more than I am, far more than any of us. He has a different view from the pitch, of course, in training. He knows what he expects from the team. If he says it's the best performance, who am I to say wrong? As an observer, as a supporter watching the games every week, I don't see it as the best performance. If we finish those goals, yes, and maybe again that's what he's saying. We created the chances. We weren't clinical. That's clear and obvious. But we looked so good in a lot of those times, a lot of those passages of play in the game, and a lot of that had to do with Spurs giving us those chances. But you're supposed to take them, and good teams, top teams, need to take advantage of those chances. At the same time, you can say top teams. One of the pundits said that you need a little bit of luck. You need to be strong and persevere through a season. And so, however we get it, we got it, and I'm happy with that. But the moaning about it's to me going a bit too far. It's going a bit too far. I think I said it before. I said it on Twitter a few minutes ago that it's mad to me that for the longest time we've talked about our defense not keeping us in games. We get the goals, and it felt like for a while we had to beat teams by scoring more goals than them. It seems like that's changed. And what I saw from Liverpool today, as pissed off as I was about us not being clinical, is that we look like a confident team, a very, very confident team, both sides of the pitch, going forward in the midfield, defensive, goalkeeper, every section of the pitch. In my opinion, we look very, very comfortable. That's good to see. We look as if we can just coast through games, and to a fault at times because it feels like that shouldn't have happened at the end of the game. It just shouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? And I'm going to say it again. I don't care if people agree with me or not. That's a pin all day on Mane. I don't care what you think. That's a pin. And if it's us and that's Mane in the box on the other end and they foul us, we're crying for it. So that's a pin all day. We got through. And that sounds harsh or stupid or deluded for me to say maybe, but we were very fortunate today. And I say that because as bad as we were with finishing chances, we allowed that score line, and my man brought it up to me from the Anfield Roar, formerly the Anfield Roar, is that score line flatters Tottenham and their fans because they'll think, we were robbed. We should have got the penalty to get a point, and they're gonna feel bad because now all the talk about them signing players, we didn't have Dele Ali, Michel Vorm is not a great keeper. They'll make excuses. It was good to see what Pochettino said. He's cool. He knows it's going to be a tough season. He played against a really top team in Liverpool. So it is what it is. Surely he would have wanted to win, at least a draw. And they were pretty close to getting it. If the ref has a different view, the view that we see as people watching TV, he calls that penalty, I think, especially with Spurs and how. And I don't think that was a dive. Fair play to Son for that. That's a penalty to me. It's a penalty all day. So I say we were fortunate in that aspect. It should never have come to that. A set piece goal should be stopped. Whether it's the keeper stopping it, whether it's Sturridge or whoever that was behind him on the edge of the box, or the edge or right by the goalpost, that needs to be stopped. And there's things like that. Yes, we won the game. Yes, it's good to see that our defense is keeping us in games, but it still goes to show that Liverpool tend to want to make things interesting in a negative way when they don't need to be. Klopp always says it. That shouldn't be allowed. It's not allowed to let a game go. And you can see the look on Klopp's face. All you can do is smile like, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe we allowed a goal. We played this well, more or less, and kept the clean sheet for this long. to allow it in the 93rd, 94th, whatever minute it was, it's unacceptable. It can't happen. And we know that. They know that. Klopp will be in their ear. I think Klopp is pleased because after the international break, guys are put through the paces. It's extreme, it's strenuous. It's their national team. It means a lot. And guys are working hard. To come back, not many sessions, and play like that, I think I see what he's saying. And it's just that much more frustrating, obviously, not to be able to get the goal. Um, and that's really the issue here in the game, and it continues to be over the last four games. West Ham, but that's the opponent, and Klopp mentioned that too, which I thought was a bit nasty. I don't think he meant it that way, but it's clear. It was the team we were playing. West Ham on the day, and we see what they're doing. I don't know if they play today or they play tomorrow, but they're not a good side right now. They're not a good side, and they I don't know if the odds were for them to get relegated, but something needs to happen for them soon, for them to even look like a Premier League team because they look really awful right now. But that game we scored a bunch of goals. It looked really good, and then we had some struggles in the other games. And by struggles, I just mean really just not taking advantage of what we had and making games that much more stressful at the end of the game. A stressful situation and that deep into extra time is it's just not good. It's not good. So again, you need some luck. I think we were slightly lucky today with not the ref not calling a pen. And I said it. I was talking about Oliver on Twitter today. I was saying he had a Spurs kit under his jersey, and there's some moments where it felt like he did. But good looking on that one because another day, another ref, and that's at Wembley. I just knew when he went down it's gonna be a pin, and I was like, we're gonna walk out of here with 1 point. And it changes the whole aspect of how you see the game because for everything you can say, oh, Liverpool looked great going forward. They made so many chances. They didn't capitalize. They got the goals. If Spurs draw that game, it changes the whole narrative. It's back to Liverpool yet again. They aren't ready. I know it's one game, but that's the thought process. If we throw that game away, get a draw. That's the narrative. I mean, if we get the draw in that game, it's Liverpool back to their old ways. You know what I mean? And again, there's people on comment section saying that Gomez is being found out after one game. I mean, people act as if he didn't do anything good in that game. He played well. He had some moments where he got at. Lucas Moura is he's a star. Lucas Moura is a star, and I think you keep him at Spurs for a while. That could be tasty for them. Lucas Moura is a star. He's fast, his pace. I mean, at one point it seemed like they had four attacking players. They had Son, Lucas Moura. They had Kane, who dropped a bit deeper. They had Lamella, the tricky bastard that he is. So, I mean, they were going all guns blazing. A lot of the time they were doing a lot of long balls and try to go over the top. I think it's absurd for anyone to say Gomez is being found out. He had some moments today that he would love to probably forget. I mean, I think a lot of players, young, old, whatever, would have problems with Lucas Moura. He's a good player, and he's very fast and tricky, pacey. So again, I don't think anybody's being found out. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he got past him and Trent, I think, on that play, and didn't capitalize on the goal. So I don't know what we're complaining about. People are saying Keita, mostly rival fans. Keita's overrated, and I'm not giving him any chance to bet in. He's getting paid whatever a week. He got signed for whatever amount of money. Listen, if you're going to come to me and say the only thing he's done is the turn in Crystal Palace, other than that he's been awful, you don't know football, you're not watching football. I'd be the first to tell you Keita was well below standard today. Of what I know he can do, what he knows he can do, he was below today. He was very much missing in a lot of parts of the game. Again, though, he had some moments where he was good and bright. I thought he was pretty good as a box-to-box role at times. And again, in that first half, I think it was, I forget who it was for Spurs, but they squared the ball over. If Keita's not there to kick it out, that's a touch in for Kane. We know Kane, he's a fox in the box. He's always in the right place at the right time. He flicks balls in. He almost flicked the goal in off of the side of his foot at one point. I thought that might go in. So, listen, it's unfortunate to have a clean sheet for that long in the game and then just have it, ruined like that. And again, the stat line, I don't know how many goals we have. Let's count them. 4 for Mane, 2 for Salah, 2 for Fabinho, 2 for Firmino. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who am I missing? Genie's got 1. That's 9. Milner's got 1. That's 10. And Sturridge, 11. So 11 goals, 2 conceded. It's not the worst. Chelsea did go top because they destroyed Cardiff City. I don't know why I got excited at all that Cardiff City was up one. I mean, come on. So that's silly for me. Hazard gets the hat trick. So this is going to be, and the brother HH has said it before. This might be one of the best Premier League seasons. It's going to be tough and tight. Again, if we go the rest of the season winning games like that, you're never going to complain out of me. I want to see us take advantage of our chances. There are going to be games where it's just tough to come by. But when you get those chances, when teams are giving you those chances, you got to capitalize because almost like in this game, if they get that penalty, then that's all you're going to hear on Twitter. Oh my God. And this is the other thing. People are saying, there's somebody tweeting, and I'm following this guy. I'm sorry, man. I'm unfollowing stupidity. I'm sorry. On Twitter, anything. I'm not going to block you. I'm going to unfollow. If you want to unfollow me back, fine. Call it petty, whatever. I'm not going to listen to someone say, fuck you, Mane. Mane's selfish. So, listen, Mane is a greedy, hungry, attacking player. He's got skill. He's got talent. He's one of I think, our best player. Yes, there's times when he should share the ball, make a better decision. He wasn't the only one. Genie had a moment or two. Salah had a moment or two. I think it all goes back to that Everton game, which is ridiculous. Like when Mane's on, he's leading our team with goals. He's probably been the best attacking player this season. He didn't play well today. There was another game he didn't play well. I forget what it was. But I think it's the Everton game last season where he could pass the ball and he doesn't. And I know he does it from time to time. Mane is anything but a selfish player. Okay? I mean, there's got to be at least a couple of times that he did square the ball in situations and it didn't go off well. I don't think anyone's selfish. They're all those guys want to help the team. They want to score. That's what they want to do. So I want a attacking player to be greedy in a sense. I do agree that there are moments where he needs to make a better decision. But there was several moments of that from different players. So I'm not about to say, fuck you, Mane, or you're a selfish player, or any of that nonsense. And again, this is where people kill me with the moaning. We won the game. That's all that matters. And as much as we want to criticize our attacking play, which is fine. I'm totally fine with that. But I don't think it was a selfish thing. I don't think it's it's anything really to be panicked about. Yes, we want to see them scoring the goals. But again, like I said, they're going to be games where they're going to be tougher than today. Today was not tough for us. Today was very easy for us. And again, partially because Spurs just gave us a lot of balls. At least 4, maybe if not more than that. 4 balls they gave, literally gave to us. Or they had a bad pass and, Salah's speed or Mane's speed caught up to it. And again, when we play those teams where it's tough, maybe in the Champions League, maybe against teams like United, whoever, Everton, I don't know how they're going to play against us, but whoever we play against, low block, stingy defensive side, maybe even Watford, the chances that we get, we have to capitalize because they will definitely come back to haunt us in certain games. They will. And it's up to us if we were to score 3 or 4 goals, none of this would have mattered. 3-1, 4-1, I'll take that. I'll take the 2-1. But my point is, some of these games should be more comfortable than we make them. And that's got to be something that's glaring for Klopp, whether he says it or not. I think he's right to be proud of the team, to get through, to fight and battle. And there was a lot of that to me, in my opinion, in this game. A lot of fighting for balls. Genie, I thought, was amazing. I don't get the 8s and 9s for Milner, but that's me. Maybe I got to watch the game again. I thought he was good. He definitely was good. And to a degree, you could say he's been the unsung, maybe the best player, arguably, of the season so far, which is really good. He's just rolling back the years. But, I thought we were good today. We were good today. I would say great if we finished our chances. It's as simple as that. I think defensively we're good enough, really good in certain moments. They didn't have many chances. The ones that they did on another day go in. You know what I mean? The Lucas Moura shot is another shot that went off the post, I think. So, again, for me, the moral of the story is, and I keep saying this almost every week since the West Ham game, finish your chances. Finish your chances, and finish games off. And clearly we finished it, but finish them off a little bit more smoother. PSG's coming up, and we all know that's going to be a tough game. Quick turnaround, 3 days, get guys rested. Tend to whoever might have a knock. There was a moment there where Virgil went up for a header. Something happened to him. He looked a little odd. Robbo in the first half didn't really look like a serious tackle, but he got up kind of limping a bit. So we know adrenaline and just heart and hunger and fight and passion will get you through games. That's in any sport. The day after, though, I'm hoping there's nothing serious, nothing residual coming from these knocks and bruises or whatever. It's a physical game. We get it. But for us, I really hope that there's nothing serious that will come from any of these injuries. I look like I paused here. Can everybody see me? I'll just keep talking. So yeah, I made up because it's 15 points. That's 5 straight wins. I believe the last time that happened, we won the league in the early '90s. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, just lots of improvement though. That's clear. Lots of improvement, and the guys got to just keep their heads up. The guys who didn't play particularly well today, it's one day. Not every day is perfect for anyone. We look at these athletes like they're bigger than human. They're human beings, larger than life. So they make mistakes. They have bad days at work. We all have bad days at work. By and large, those guys they come through for us. And so I think we'll see that again. I think we'll see that again. We got to be patient. Got to enjoy these wins. But again, just my last thing I want to say is let's enjoy the idea that we can win games and we don't have to outscore teams by 3 or 4 goals. And everyone should be proud and happy of that. I know I am. I love to see that. I don't have to necessarily. I was not worried at all in that game. I was not worried at all in that game that they would score whatever, especially after we got two. I kept saying, and that's the thing. We had 3 or 4 or 5 chances to score goals, maybe even 6. You know what I mean? And so you want to get those, but the more chances we made, the more I thought we would get some of these. And I'm glad we got those too. I didn't think we'd get, in that fashion. Early in the game, we had a goal that was disallowed for offsides, rightfully offsides. But you saw from the jump, Liverpool were on Tottenham quick. And, they were pretty quiet in the stadium. They were pretty quiet. A lot of moaning, a lot of hissing and hawing. And, they were struggling in that game. And it's packed in there. And that's a big, massive pitch. So which is good. It would have been better to beat them at their new stadium. But listen, you take the win. You learn from it. And you realize just how good and confident this team looks. I can't say enough about the defense, though. I really can't. All 4 of those guys, and yes, we know the chances very minimal that Spurs had, and we had some moments where we gave the ball away and things of that nature. But by and large, I think we were really, really good today. I still don't think it was our best performance, as Klopp said, but it probably ranks up there just as how we looked. And again, it feels weird because again it goes back to looking good, but that doesn't win you anything if you can't capitalize. Now today it won us that because we left it late and they didn't have much time to score, but we almost threw that game away. And to me, that would have been a throwaway, even if it came to a draw. Coming from those many chances, being up 2-0 to draw that game to me would feel like a loss. You know what I mean? And we all would feel much different now. So speaking for myself, everyone has their opinion. Everyone's going to feel how they feel, and that's the beautiful thing about the fan base or any fan base is that we're not going to always agree. But for me, I just feel like there should be a good feeling around support these days with Liverpool. Um, these games, none of these games are easy. But the game is easy of football. And if we didn't make it so hard on ourselves, I think it would feel a bit better. But I don't care about feeling better. I'm happy that we got the points. Um, but we do have to improve. We know we have to improve. And not be necessarily with goals necessarily. I mean, that's one thing that we do need to be clinical on, for sure, no question. Especially in those games, again, where defenses are really stingy. Dominic says there's a chance Firmino will miss Tuesday. Yeah, I figured that. I mean, eyesight, you got to be able to see one eye. It's a shame. It's a shame. But like the thumbnail picture shows, it's a scene from 28 Days Later, or 28 Days, whatever it's called. He stabbed him right in the eye. That's still, that image of Dyer's finger, I think it was a Dyer of a Tongan, finger in Roberto Firmino's eyes. It's crazy to see. Because in fast motion, it just looks like he hits him in the face, and that happens. He probably was flaring his arms as he running. I don't think it was done maliciously or on purpose. It's inadvertent slap, whatever. But it looks bad when you pause it and you see that image of his finger almost like he's digging in his eye in slow motion. So he'll probably miss. Oh, I shouldn't say probably. He might miss Tuesday, but that shouldn't be a drawback. You know what I mean? If everyone thinks how everyone thinks is that we have an amazing depth, which I don't know if I really agree with that, especially in the attacking areas, then we should be fine. You know what I mean? I think you put a Sturridge in there, you put a Shaqiri. It was funny to see Naby playing the 9 role, at least defensively a lot in the game when Firmino went out. But we should be fine. Not having Firmino, if that's the case Tuesday, it doesn't make me feel like, oh, we might lose this game or might draw it. I think we can still win the game. We should still win the game, in my opinion. So, big game. Welcoming PSG to Anfield. I can't believe the Champions League is already back. I mean, I can't. It feels like it wasn't that long ago. So, excited about it. and just happy with the team. Happy that we were able to see that game through. Um, unnecessarily nervy at the end, but pulling it out means more than anything else. And again, it's going to be a season like that. It's going to be a season where there's going to be a lot of days that we're thinking, look, man, why aren't we taking our chances? But to me, it's not about Mane being selfish or Salah being selfish. Again, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but to me, you want them to be that way to a degree. Matt, what's up? I'm already tired of this Mane versus Salah thing. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. I mean, it's not. If you ask them to, and I don't think they're lying, it's not. There's no beef between them. Yes, surely Salah might throw his hands up and be pissed off if he's like, "Yo, I'm right here." Same thing for Mane. But it happens. It happens. You want if Mane's making those goals, obviously nobody's saying anything. We missed the chances. We hit it out of bounds, or we hit it right to the keeper. You know, Salah made some bad decisions as well. I'm not here to finger point against one player, you know, rightfully or wrongly. I think that collectively going forward, we could be better with the passing, with the decision making, with making the damn goal when it's 1-on-1. So people want to pick and choose who to blame or who to knock for not getting goals. That's not me. I'm not gonna come with that. You know what I mean? We had a lot of chances from a lot of different players, and none of them were really that great. Genie and Firmino were in their moments, but other than that, nobody was great going forward, and that's a team thing. So, you know, again, I made up. I'm happy we got the win, and I can just sit back and relax and watch the Watford Man United game. So, yeah, just wanted to come back and just give some more thoughts on the game. Like I said, after the game's over, emotions running. You say some things. You look on social media, which I think I need to stop doing because it almost leaves me in rage of what people say. Not the other fans, because I could care less what they think about Naby being overrated, about the goalkeeper, whatever they have to say, that's fine. But when our own fans are talking about Gomez is being found out and fuck Mane and he's so selfish, and listen, I think big ups needs to go to Klopp as well for the game plan, the tactics. He really has this team playing with a lot of confidence. You see it. Everyone can see that. If you're watching the game, you can see it. If only we can finish those goals. But you can see how confident Liverpool look, man. It's almost like another training session. All due respect to every team we've played, it looks like most of those games we had control of it. You know what I mean? And whatever. Spurs didn't have some of their players. Listen, it's Spurs. You know what I mean? And maybe they should have bought some more players in the offseason. But they didn't, and they're still a good team. So, again, I spoke about Lucas Moura a lot. That guy is a star. He's a star. He's going to be good for them. So, they had some moments where they could have hurt us. I loved seeing them keep going long ball and not really have much joy with it. Sometimes we were, a saving, tackle or clear out away from being hurt, but that's okay. Last season, we know what happened. We were getting hurt every time. There was no, oh, maybe. No, they were taking advantage of everything we gave them. We didn't give them a lot today, which is what I said coming to the game. As long as we don't give them things, if they beat us because they're better, cool. But they weren't better than us. They were good. They weren't better than us. Liverpool was obviously the better team. And I get what Klopp says about we deserve that. I agree with it. We deserve it. But we were also very fortunate. And that's part of the game. You got to be fortunate to win things, to win leagues, to eke out tough games like that. And, it was a physical battle there. I think we tried to make it a bit more physical, but almost in a timid way because you felt like every time you touch the Spurs player, they want to go down. And Spurs fans will feel, like they were robbed with the penalty, which I said it before, it was a penalty. But, we also didn't get a penalty call in the box. Virgil van Dijk almost every game gets held, tackled, molested in the box, and nothing is ever called. So at some point, the Premier League really needs to decide what they're going to call a foul and what they're not. I'm tired of seeing it. It's almost every week, no call, but no one wants to talk about that. I would love to see Virgil van Dijk more involved on set pieces, getting his head on balls. That has a lot to do with the delivery. And I think he's trying. I think he's definitely trying. But there's not much you can do when someone's blatantly holding you down. So there's a lot of stuff going on with Salah. Because Salah's too fast for these guys. Grabbing his jersey. If you want the guy's jersey, just ask for it after the game. You don't have to rip it off. So I think the ref was fair for the most part overall. I think overall you got to say the ref was fair. And again, especially for not calling that penalty. Because to me, that is a penalty all day. So again, we're very fortunate. I don't want to keep repeating myself. I think I've said everything I wanted to say, covered everything. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. And we will see you guys Tuesday. Take care.